If you've ever said yes when you meant no, or agreed to something just to avoid awkwardness, guilt, or conflict, you're not alone. And if you're also someone with ADHD, people-pleasing can go way deeper than just being too nice. Hi, I'm Sara Kelly. I'm an ADHD coach for late-diagnosed, high-functioning women who are doing a great job keeping it together on the outside, while silently drowning in pressure, overwhelm, and self-doubt. In today's video, we're going to dig into why people-pleasing is so common for ADHD women, what's actually happening in your brain during those knee-jerk yes moments, and how to start untangling your worth from everyone else's expectations. Let's rewind for a moment I remember all too well. Before I got my ADHD diagnosis in 2021, I said yes to almost everything. Need a volunteer? I'm in. Want to vent for an hour? I've got time for that. Extra work? Sure, no problem. I'd pack my calendar until I was hanging on by a thread. And I didn't think of it as people-pleasing. I thought I was just being helpful, kind, a team player. But inside, I was exhausted and resentful, panicked about dropping the ball. The thing is, I didn't just want people to like me. I needed them to. Their approval felt like air to me, and if I sensed disapproval or disappointment, it hit my nervous system like a threat. And that reaction isn't dramatic either. It's neurological. So here's what's going on in an ADHD brain. ADHD often comes with rejection sensitivity dysphoria, or RSD. That's a fancy way of saying your brain reacts to real or perceived rejection as if it's danger. It's emotional danger, but still danger. And when the amygdala, the brain's alarm system, is already on high alert, like it often is in ADHD, even a small frown or a sigh can feel crushing. So to avoid that feeling, we often say yes too much. We smooth things over. We go out of our way to manage other people's reactions, even if it comes at the cost of our own energy, time, or needs. And let's not forget, ADHD also affects working memory and emotional regulation, which means we might feel someone's frustrations intensely, but not be able to quickly step back and process it rationally. Instead, we go into fix-it mode because it feels safer than sitting with discomfort. So if you're a chronic people pleaser, it's not because you're weak or fake. It's because your brain is trying to protect you. But here's a problem with that. The more we prioritize others' needs over our own, the more we reinforce the belief that our needs don't matter. And then over time, we lose trust in our own boundaries. So what can actually help? Here are some ADHD-friendly ways to start shifting out of people-pleasing. Number 1, pause before you agree, even if just for an hour or two. When someone asks for your time, energy, or help, take a breath and say, "Let me check my schedule," or "Can I get back to you in a bit?" Here's why it works. ADHD brains often default to impulsivity. Giving yourself a pause disrupts that automatic yes, and this allows your reasoning brain to catch up. Number 2, practice neutral language. Start with simple phrases like, "I'm not at capacity right now," or "I can't commit to that this week," or maybe something like, "Thanks for thinking of me, but I'll have to pass." Here's why it works. These phrases protect your boundaries without inviting argument. They're direct but kind, and rehearsing them makes them easier to access in the moment. Number 3, say what you're afraid of. Next time you catch yourself overcommitting, ask yourself, what am I trying to avoid? Rejection, disapproval, guilt? Here's why it works. Naming the fear brings it into the light. And once it's visible, you can start responding from choice, not just fear. Number 4, track what it costs you. Every time you say yes out of guilt, write down what it costs. Is it time, energy, sleep, emotional bandwidth? Here's why it works. ADHD brains respond well to tangible data. Seeing your people-pleasing patterns helps you spot them faster and break them sooner. Number 5, build safe no experiences. Start small. Say no to something low stakes and watch what happens. It often plays out way less dramatic than your brain expects. Here's why it works. You're training your nervous system to tolerate the discomfort of setting a boundary and realizing that you're still safe. Number 6, visualize the aftermath. Before saying yes, try to picture what saying yes will actually feel like. Will it overload your week, lead to burnout, or even resentment? Here's why it works. ADHD brains live in the now. This helps you stretch your perspective and consider your future self in the decision-making process. Number 7, notice your language habits. Do you often say things like, I don't mind, or it's no problem, or I can make it work, even when you're stretched too thin? Try replacing those with language that reflects your actual capacity. Something like, I'd love to help, but I can't take anything extra on this week. Here's why it works. You're retraining your default scripts to reflect your real boundaries, not just what sounds accommodating. Now, if this is resonating with you and you're realizing how much of your energy goes into trying to keep everyone else happy, this is the exact kind of work I do with clients every day. We work together to understand your patterns, calm your nervous system, and practice boundaries that feel doable for you. You can book a free discovery call with me. There is a link below in the description of this video. Let's also talk about what not to do. Don't try to fix people-pleasing with perfectionism. You don't have to get boundaries 100% right all the time. You're allowed to be messy and you're allowed to change your mind. Don't wait until burnout forces you to stop, because boundaries are harder when you're already depleted. Start small, start early, and start often. Don't confuse discomfort with danger. Your nervous system might interpret a boundary as risky, but that doesn't mean it actually is. One coaching tool I use is something called a boundary ladder. We build it together starting with the lowest rung, no, something so easy it barely registers, and then we gradually work up. By doing this, over time your confidence grows and your nervous system recalibrates. Another powerful practice, self-validation. When you say no and feel guilty, try saying to yourself, that was hard and I did it anyway. I'm allowed to take care of myself. And if you're someone who people pleases in work settings, especially high pressure environments, try this. Write down your core values. What matters most to you? And then let those guide your yeses and your nos, not just who you're trying to impress or protect. Here's another mindset shift. Every no creates space for a more honest yes. When you protect your time, you make room for things that align with your energy, your priorities, as well as your well-being. You also model boundaries for others. Every time you honor your own needs, you show the women around you that they can do the same. Now, if you've been overextending yourself for years, I want you to hear this. You are allowed to disappoint people. You're allowed to take up space. You are allowed to protect your peace, even if someone doesn't understand. Now, if you want help learning how to do this in a way that feels grounded, doable, and honest to who you are, I would love to help you. You can book a free discovery call using the link below. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and I will see you in the next one.